All right, so we're at station number 3, which is located on Cliff Street. This is one of our oldest stations, built in 1902. It was built by the Post Corporation to protect not only Post, but the neighborhooding area up there. And what I want to do is just kind of walk us through and kind of point out some of the features of the station, as well as some of the reasons why we are looking to go with something new. So the view that we have here, of course, is of the Apparatus bay. You can still see some of the old flooring that was in here. We've had to, over the years, reinforce the floor, so that's why we can only park an engine on the right side, just because of the weight. The door has been raised over the years, and it's now at its highest capacity for us to allow engines to get in. One of the issues that we are going to run into in the future is, as we start to replace our fleet, our reserve engines will be our current existing engines, and I have engines and apparatus that will not fit into this building, and there's nothing I can do anymore to retrofit it to allow those apparatus to be in here. So when the engine that is in here is out for service, whether it be a couple hours or a couple weeks, I could be in a situation where I wouldn't be able to have any apparatus here, and I would have to probably brown the station out or shut it down for that time being. So that is one of the logistical problems that I have just with the door and the apparatus. So as we walk in a little bit farther, I can show you a few more things. Structurally down here, it's not too bad. The architect that did the study for us was a little concerned about, again, the structural integrity of the floor joists and things, and whether or not it was overweighted, but we'll need to probably bring in a structural engineer to confirm that. But again, it was enough for the architect to say that he felt that it should at least be looked at because he had some concerns with it. Through this door here is the office for the officers and for the firefighters to work on computers and training and things. So not too bad. Again, got some room in here. I have to admit, I'm not 100% sure really what it was back in the day. I thought I was told at one time it might have been part of the hose tower, which would make a lot of sense, but it since then has been converted into the office. And as what you'll see as we go through the entire building is that we do not have central air in here. So if you look up at the top, all of our rooms are being cooled in the summertime by window air conditioning units, and the heat throughout the building is from an old boiler. So we're a little behind on times there. I think it would be pretty costly to try to move it up to today's standards. So as we walk out through here, what we can do then is let's take a walk into the back here. One of the things that we're always concerned about is the health and safety of the firefighters and then the employees and our visitors. And in modern fire stations and stuff, what they try to do is you segregate areas off to keep people away from contaminants, carcinogens, anything that is hazardous to your health. So one of the issues that we have in these older stations is our inability to really do that. And as we go through the tours of the other stations, I won't try to labor on about it, but a lot of the other stations have the same issues. So for example, now with us running as much EMS and as much communicable diseases that are out there, or even the stuff that we need to decontaminate from, we should have an area that is segregated off from the main living area that has an outside vent access that will push all that stuff, and it's more of a clean room. The best thing that we can do in this station right now is this little slop sink area. We really have no place to hang stuff, medical equipment when we decontaminate it. If we do, you're mixing cleaning supplies with things, and there's no ventilation going out, so it's always out in the open, which really isn't what we want to have for our firefighters. And as we walk into here, this is the kitchen area, which I'll hit on here in a minute. But back here, again, it's kind of the same issue. We have our turnout gear here stored, and a lot of the recommendations going out now is that we should have a place where we can wash our gear at each station, not around it at one station, which we have, But the gear here, if we don't get this washed all the time, all that product of combustion, if we don't get that off, will start to off-gas. So again, I really need another spot where when the gear is stored in its own area that's almost negatively pressured. So again, the bad air is being pushed out. So the way we have it stored right here is, guys are sitting in the kitchen, eating their dinner, watching TV, doing some trainings, or if they're out and about in here, they're constantly breathing that in, and we want to eliminate that. The current setup of the facility would almost make it impossible or impractical for us to start to segregate these areas off. And as you can see with the kitchen, is all we have is a screen door that separates the eating area from the garage area. So even though we have the diesel exhaust capture system, we still have gasoline, we still have other type of chemicals like in the storage area there, the turnout gear. So these guys are exposed to this all the time. We need to be proactive and eliminate that. That's one of the issues that I have in trying to bring this facility up to speed. And as we walk in to the kitchen here, as you can see, not a lot of room, but at the most we have usually 4 people stationed here, so it's not bad. It's a little tight quarters. Not a lot of room to move around. Again, window air conditioning unit for the kitchen. Not a lot of counter space or storage. What we do too in Battle Creek Fire Department is we have tele-video conferencing where we can do trainings. Well, no other place to put it, so we have to put it up here on top of the refrigerator. So the guys have to actually sit here in the kitchen and communicate with us up through that television there. There's an old storage room back here that's possibly could be converted into something. But truly, as you can see, everything is, all the pipes, everything's being run now on the exterior. It's just more cost efficient to do it that way. My point is, there's not a lot that we can do with this station to bring it up to today's standards to give us what we need to do to function and provide the best service possible for the citizens of Battle Creek. What we'll do is take it downstairs real quick. Certainly not up to code as far as it should be. So, and the architect kind of pointed that out in the report that's online. So, as we go down, it's your typical Michigan basement, and incredibly old boiler that we have here. We've had certainly some plumbing issues here as of late. You really can't see too well the ceiling here. Lots and lots of rust of the ceiling features. I mean, the I-beams still look pretty good. The architect did say in the report that he doesn't see any safety issues as far as structural, but again, he did recommend that we bring in a structural engineer just to confirm and look over things. As I said, we've certainly had some plumbing issues in the past where we've had leaks. Again, it is just the staircase shouldn't be here anymore, just in case we, heaven forbid, we ever had a fire that broke out here or broken downstairs. We need that separation. So you'll never see an old wood staircase in a modern facility, simply because, again, you want it to be made of non-combustible materials. And that is also another reason too that is pointed out in the report from the MSA architect that we consulted with. So as we go through, there's a good visual of the boiler or the radiators that we have to use to heat the building. Now you won't be able to see it on the video, but as you walk up the steps and then you turn around, you will feel some of the steps feel like they could possibly maybe a little compromised. But when you get up on the upper floor, you're going to feel that the floor is definitely sloped, which again is another reason why I believe the architect is suggesting that we might have some structural instability or integrity that's located here in the building. And most of our older buildings too, and the next couple ones we'll be looking at, is we have definite areas that are loaded with asbestos, so we have to stay away from that. You know, again, when you just walk on the floor, you can just kind of feel how it's leaning. Get a little better picture of the ceiling and the cracks. So come on in here, and this is the lounge area for the firefighters at night after working hours. You know, as you can see, for even for 4 people, there's not a lot of privacy maybe where we can kind of get away, which is good and bad. You know, staying together makes it good for crew integrity, and you know, we're family. This is certainly another area that the architect references in the report as the amount of weight that we could possibly be storing up here. We just don't have another place to put exercise equipment for the firefighters. And some people might be saying, well, what do you need exercise equipment for? Well, it's again, it's part of our mission to make sure that our employees, our firefighters, are strong, physically fit, and healthy, because that'll give us better customer service when we are actually doing the firefighting or when we're doing medicals and having to lift people, patients, heavy objects. But also, a healthy employee reduces the overall cost of insurance, workers' comp, so it saves the city money in that aspect. So we try to do our best to provide exercise equipment and facilities for the guys, but this is the best we can do. We don't have enough locker facilities for everybody in changing rooms, so we actually have lockers in 2 separate areas of station number 3 here. This is just one of those areas for the guys. And then out here is the laundry collection for our laundry service. And again, does it work? Yeah, it works absolutely. But again, everything's out. There's nowhere to put things. We have run out of room to store things, which isn't really good for the firefighters. So through this door is the dorm room. Very large. As far as the number of people that we have that stay here, we have plenty of room for that. As I've said, I know I'm sound like a broken record, but again, window air conditioning units to cool the space. Windows are in poor shape. Windows need to be replaced if we did have to stay here. And then, in modern facilities now too, separation of people sleeping like this, they try to get away from it. 1, again, for privacy, and 2, within the industry, we have male and female. Now, I will say that this is, when I first saw this, I thought it was pretty cool, because this is what I always imagined what a fire station would be, with the old wooden lockers. So there's a lot of nostalgia, a lot of history that's tied into this building, and that's what's probably one of the hardest things about talking of having us not stay here anymore. It's hard not to walk in here and feel the history and feel the nostalgia, and to know that the history that the firefighters that have been through this building over the last 100+ years. So when you look at the lockers, it's hard not to touch your heart a little bit. We've done our best here to remodel the bathroom to the best of our ability. I know it was done a couple years ago. Again, an issue of a modern fire station is when the crews come back from fighting a structure fire, we want them to get cleaned up right away. We want to get that stuff off of them. We have 1 shower, so guys and gals, they have to end up waiting to take their turn. So again, that's just more time you're sitting in that sweaty stuff. You're sitting in that contaminants. So we need better facilities as far as for us to clean up and to decontaminate. All right, so we've pretty much taken a tour of station number 3, and I know I've pointed out a lot of deficiencies, a lot of things that hinder our ability to provide good quality service, to keep our firefighters and our employees safe, as well as the visitors that come through the station. But I want to absolutely be clear that The city has no intentions of tearing this building down or doing anything to it. We would like to try to repurpose it for some other reason. It just can't, in our opinion, function anymore as a working fire station. With that all being said, as I said upstairs, it's hard not to walk through here and to have this connection of what it was like in the past and what's going on now, and to visualize, seeing horses down here with the old steamer engines, and like I said upstairs, when you put your hand on the locker, there's something there about it. It just makes you feel nostalgic with inside. So if the city does decide that we are going to relocate out of this building, it'll be bittersweet. It'll be sad that we'll no longer be a working firehouse, but yet in the same token, we should embrace the future and know that what we're trying to do is, again, provide better service to the citizens here and keep our